Every life is a story, and some stories shine brighter than others. Today, we pause to honor the lives of American stars who have left us recently. Their talent, their spirit, and their dedication touched millions, and though they are gone, their legacies live on. Welcome to Gone Legends. If you're joining us, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe for more tributes, and let us know in the comments where you are watching from as we unite in remembrance. Today, we remember the life of a woman whose strength, talent, and courage inspired millions. A beloved actress, a cultural icon of the 1990s, and a fighter who faced life's greatest challenges with dignity and grace. Her name was Shannen Maria Doherty. Born on April 12, 1971, in Memphis, Tennessee, Shannen grew up with dreams that would carry her to Hollywood. From an early age, she had a spark, an undeniable talent that made her stand out. By the age of 11, she was already acting, appearing on Father Murphy and later landing a recurring role on Little House on the Prairie. But it was in the 1990s that Shannen Doherty became a household name. In 1990, she starred as Brenda Walsh on the groundbreaking teen drama Beverly Hills, 90210. The show became a cultural phenomenon, and Shannen's portrayal of Brenda made her one of the most recognizable young actresses in the world. She brought depth, vulnerability, and authenticity to a character that resonated with millions of teenagers. After leaving 90210, Shannen took on another iconic role, Prue Halliwell in the supernatural hit series Charmed. Alongside Alyssa Milano and Holly Marie Combs, Shannen helped bring magic and sisterhood to life on screen. For many fans, she wasn't just playing a character, she was a symbol of strength, resilience, and empowerment. Her television career was complemented by appearances in films such as Heathers, Mallrats, and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Wherever she appeared, Shannen carried a commanding presence. Shannen Doherty was more than just an actress. She was outspoken, unafraid to live authentically, and never shied away from standing up for herself. Her career may have been marked by moments of controversy, but those moments also revealed her honesty and her unwillingness to compromise her principles. She directed episodes of Charmed and explored other creative avenues, proving her talent extended beyond acting. For fans, she became not just an entertainer, but a real, relatable person who lived with passion and courage. In 2015, Shannen received a diagnosis that changed her life: breast cancer. She faced it head-on, sharing her journey publicly to help others going through the same struggle. In 2017, after treatment, she announced her cancer was in remission. But tragically, in 2020, the disease returned, this time as stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Even as the illness spread, Shannen never gave up. She continued to act, advocate, and live with courage. In interviews, she often said she wanted people to remember that she lived, not just that she died. That spirit, her refusal to let illness define her, made her an inspiration to millions of people worldwide who were fighting their own battles. On July 13, 2024, Shannen Doherty passed away at the age of 53. She died peacefully in her California home, surrounded by family and close friends. Her cause of death was complications from her long battle with breast cancer. Her bravery, her openness, and her resilience during her fight made her an icon not only in Hollywood but in the hearts of people around the globe. Shannen was laid to rest in a private ceremony in Los Angeles, California, where family and loved ones gathered to honor her life. The news of her passing broke hearts around the world. Fans who had grown up watching her on 90210 and Charmed mourned deeply. Co-stars, friends, and colleagues paid tribute, remembering her as a talented actress, a strong woman, and a loyal friend. For those who watched her on screen, Shannen wasn't just a star, she was a part of their own lives. Her characters represented youth, strength, love, and resilience. And off-screen, her honesty and courage inspired countless others to face their own struggles with strength. Shannen Doherty leaves behind a legacy that will last forever. She was one of the defining faces of 1990s television, and her performances continue to resonate with fans old and new. Her courage in sharing her cancer journey brought awareness and comfort to millions of people facing the same fight. She showed the world what it means to keep living, to keep smiling, even in the face of impossible odds. Shannen Doherty's story is not one of sadness alone, but of strength, resilience, and light. She taught us to fight bravely, to live honestly, and to love fully. As we say goodbye, we remember her not just as an actress, but as a fighter, a friend, and a woman who touched lives far beyond Hollywood. Rest in peace, Shannen Doherty. You may be gone, but your light and your legacy will never fade. Today, we remember a man whose voice became part of the soundtrack of American music. A man whose harmonies lifted spirits, whose songs told stories, and whose faith and joy inspired millions. His name was Joe Bonsall, and for nearly 5 decades he was the soaring tenor of the legendary Oak Ridge Boys. Born on May 18, 1948, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Josephus, Bonsall Jr. grew up surrounded by the power of music. From an early age, he was drawn to gospel singing, and his natural tenor voice made him stand out. That gift would one day help transform a gospel quartet into one of the most successful country groups in history. In 1973, Joe joined the Oak Ridge Boys, a group that had been singing gospel music since the 1940s. Alongside Dwayne Allen, William Lee Golden, and Richard Sturban, Joe helped shape the group's sound and identity. His bright tenor became the defining high harmony that gave the group its unique, unforgettable sound. Together, the Oak Ridge Boys crossed over from gospel to country music, and their popularity exploded. With hits like Elvira, Bobby Sue, American Made, and Thank God for Kids, the group became one of the most beloved acts in America. Joe's high notes on Elvira, his joyful, energetic Papa, Mo, became iconic, instantly recognizable to fans everywhere. Over the decades, Joe Bonsall and the Oak Ridge Boys released dozens of albums, sold millions of records, and toured across the world. They won 5 Grammy Awards, multiple Country Music Association awards, and were inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2015. But for Joe, it wasn't just about fame or awards. It was about faith, family, and bringing joy to people. He often said that singing was his way of spreading hope, love, and inspiration. On stage, his energy was infectious. Off stage, he was known for his kindness, humility, and deep Christian faith. In addition to music, Joe was also a writer. He authored several books, including children's stories, inspirational works, and memoirs. His words carried the same warmth and positivity that his music did. In 2024, after a lengthy battle with a neuromuscular disease, Joe Bonsall's health declined. On July 9, 2024, he passed away peacefully at the age of 76 at his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. His passing was deeply mourned in the country music community and by fans worldwide. The Oak Ridge Boys, who had sung together for over 50 years, lost not only a bandmate but a brother. Joe was laid to rest in a private ceremony in Tennessee, surrounded by family and loved ones. When news of Joe's passing spread, tributes poured in from across the music industry. Fellow artists, fans, and friends remembered him as a man of faith, joy, and incredible talent. For so many, Joe's voice was tied to memories of road trips, concerts, and family gatherings. His music carried people through good times and hard times, and his faith-filled songs brought comfort to countless listeners. Fans remembered not just his powerful tenor voice, but his warmth, his smile, and his generosity of spirit. Joe Bonsall leaves behind a legacy of music, faith, and inspiration. With the Oak Ridge Boys, he helped bridge gospel and country, creating music that spoke to the heart of America. His voice will live on forever in recordings, in memories, and in the joy he gave to so many. He showed the world that music is more than entertainment. It is connection, it is comfort, it is love. And through his voice, Joe Bonsall gave those gifts freely. Joe Bonsall's journey on this earth has ended, but his song continues. Every note he sang, every word he wrote, every moment he shared on stage lives on in the hearts of those he touched. As we say goodbye, we honor not just the singer, but the man. A man of faith, a man of love, a man who brought light wherever he went. Rest in peace, Joe Bonsall. Your voice will never be forgotten. Today, we remember a legend who made the world laugh with his wit, his timing, and his charm. A man whose career spanned more than 6 decades, touching hearts across generations. His name was George Robert Newhart, but the world lovingly knew him as Bob Newhart. Born on September 5, 1929, in Oak Park, Illinois, Bob grew up in a working-class Catholic family. He served in the United States Army during the Korean War and worked as an accountant before ever stepping into the world of comedy. But his gift for humor couldn't be hidden. He had a natural ability to take everyday conversations, add his dry wit, and transform them into unforgettable comedy. Bob's big break came almost by accident. In 1960, he recorded a comedy album titled The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart. It was unlike anything audiences had heard before. With his signature stammering delivery, his perfectly timed pauses, and his one-sided imaginary phone conversations, Bob created a style of comedy that was fresh, intelligent, and endlessly funny. The album was a phenomenon. It became the first comedy record to hit #1 on the Billboard charts and even won him a Grammy Award for Album of the Year, beating out legends like Frank Sinatra. From that moment on, Bob Newhart was a household name. In the 1970s, Bob transitioned from stand-up comedy to television, and America welcomed him into their living rooms. His first series, The Bob Newhart Show, ran from 1972 to 1978 and became a classic sitcom. As psychologist Dr. Bob Hartley, he brought humor to the everyday struggles of marriage, friendship, and work. His dry humor and calm, understated style made him one of the most beloved TV personalities of the decade. But he wasn't done. In the 1980s, Bob starred in another hit sitcom, simply titled Newhart. The show's finale, with its surprise twist ending, is still considered one of the most memorable moments in television history. Bob also appeared in numerous films, including Catch-22, Elf, and In and Out. He made guest appearances in shows like The Big Bang Theory, delighting both old fans and new generations who discovered him later in life. Over his career, Bob Newhart received countless honors. He won several Primetime Emmy Awards, a Peabody Award, and was inducted into the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. In 1993, he was awarded the National Medal of Arts, and in 2002, TV Guide named him one of the 50 greatest TV stars of all time. But beyond the awards, what mattered most was the laughter. Bob had a rare gift. He could make people laugh without ever raising his voice, without being cruel, without relying on shock. His comedy was timeless, clean, and smart. On July 18, 2025, Bob Newhart passed away peacefully at his home in Los Angeles, California, surrounded by family. He was 95 years old. The cause of death was reported as natural causes. After a lifetime of making others smile, he left this world quietly, with the same humility and grace that defined his career. Bob was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, a resting place for many of Hollywood's greatest legends. Bob Newhart's death was felt deeply across America and the world. Fellow comedians, actors, and fans paid tribute, remembering not just his work, but his kindness, his humility, and his humanity. For so many, Bob wasn't just a comedian, he was a part of their lives. His shows were the soundtrack of family evenings, his albums the source of laughter on long road trips, his humor a light in dark times. Bob Newhart leaves behind a legacy that will never fade. He showed the world that comedy could be clever without being cruel, warm without being weak, and funny without ever losing heart. His button-down style may have been quiet, but his impact was thunderous. Generations of comedians have cited him as an influence. His timing, his delivery, and his gentle humor continue to inspire those who follow in his footsteps. Bob Newhart lived a life filled with laughter, love, and grace. From accountant to comedy legend, from stage to screen, he made us all smile, and that is a gift beyond measure. As we say goodbye, we don't just mourn his passing. We celebrate his life. A life that reminds us that laughter is timeless, and joy is eternal. Rest in peace, Bob Newhart. Your voice may be silent now, but your laughter will echo forever. Today, we honor a legend who is still with us, an actor whose presence redefined what it means to be a hero on screen. A man of grit, humor, and heart, Bruce Willis. Born on March 19, 1955, in Idar-Oberstein, West Germany, to an American father and a German mother, Bruce grew up in New Jersey, where life was anything but glamorous. He battled a severe childhood stutter, a challenge that nearly silenced him, until he discovered acting. On stage, the words flowed, and the boy who once struggled to speak became a performer who could command any room. In the 1980s, Bruce worked odd jobs, including tending bar in New York City, while chasing auditions. His charm and wit behind the counter would soon translate into one of television's most iconic roles. In 1985, he starred as David Addison on Moonlighting, a wisecracking detective whose chemistry with Sybil Shepherd electrified audiences. Bruce's charisma was undeniable, earning him both an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe. Then, in 1988, came the role that would make him immortal, John McClane in Die Hard. Unlike the muscle-bound heroes of the time, Bruce brought humanity, humor, and vulnerability to the role. McClane bled, stumbled, panicked, but never gave up. That everyman toughness changed action cinema forever. With lines like "Yippee-ki-yay," Bruce Willis etched himself into pop culture history. Over the decades, Bruce showed remarkable range. From blockbusters like Armageddon and The Fifth Element, to dramatic turns in Pulp Fiction and The Sixth Sense, his work proved he could make audiences laugh, cry, and cheer, all in the same career. He became not just an action star, but one of Hollywood's most versatile leading men. In 2022, Bruce's family revealed that he had been diagnosed with aphasia, a condition affecting speech and communication. A year later, they shared that his illness had progressed to frontotemporal dementia, FTD. With grace and courage, Bruce retired from acting after more than 100 films, leaving behind an unmatched legacy. Though illness has taken him away from the spotlight, Bruce remains surrounded by love. His wife, Emma Hemming Willis, his ex-wife Demi Moore, and his 5 daughters have shown the world what family unity and devotion truly mean. Even today, fans celebrate his films, proof that his spirit continues to inspire. Bruce Willis is not gone. His story is still being written. He may no longer be on screen, but the resilience, humor, and humanity he gave us will live forever. So, as we honor the legends we've lost, we also take a moment to celebrate a man still with us. Bruce Willis, the everyman hero, the icon, and the fighter.